JoyNews Interactive, and let's do some tech talk because last night Kobe Spike Nkrumah was speaking to Paul Ninson, Ghanaian photographer Paul Ninson, on Geek Squad, and they were discussing the reasons why Ghana needs a photo library.
In a space where it would teach a kid who's 5 years old how to take pictures,
right,
and use that to whatever class extension or schools, international community schools, Usu Presby school, public school. How can we? I'm figuring it out as I go forward, and it's not just limited to my friends who are professional photographers. Even people who are older, 60 years, people who are bankers. If they want to spend a weekend with us to learn how to take pictures, and look, a mother who want to take pictures of the daughter, documents his life of, how do you teach the person? So I'm not limiting it to just photographers who are professional. It's everyone. It's everyone who is willing to do learn photography, the act and the process of photography. That's the person I'm looking for. So, yeah.
I mean, it does make sense because everyone has a smartphone now, like we started with a conversation, and everyone knows how to whip out the camera and take a shot, like you said, without, it doesn't matter whether it's nice or not nice because it's subjective. So yeah, I think it would definitely apply to everyone. And I heard that the project is called Dekan.
Yes, the project is called Dekan.
Okay, so
which means take the lead.
Take the lead. So you're taking the lead to do this.
Yes, is something my dad used to tell me when I was a kid.
Oh wow!
To solve problems. So my dad is a very pragmatic person. So he always say, "Take the lead." Take the lead. Always it was like take the lead.
So do you envision that? Do you envision that this project would encourage the youth to want to take up photography as a digital skill?
I've never felt this love from a country, from my people in this way. Everybody is expressing opinions, suggestion, advice. Paul, bring it here, bring it there. It shows the need. It shows that the reception shows that people love this to happen. Even if somebody does not contribute and the person prays for me, prays for this project to happen, that is great. So. I think that a lot of people are looking forward to it, and yeah.
So besides people grabbing photography skills from Dekan, do you envision that they would get other things? Like, would it serve other purposes besides just being a resource point or reference point for photography?
Yes. As the name goes, Dekan, I am taking the lead to do this. I am not limiting it to me. If there's anybody out there after mine is running or in the process of running, and the person want to do something in Konongo, and I have the resource to help the person, why not? Is the beauty of this thing is you don't make it about you. Don't make it selfish about you, because it's for the people, it's not for me. So if there's somebody out there has a land and want us to help build something small. Again, my architects are working on, we've been doing this for the past 6 months, building prototypes of how do we make this as cheap as possible in Konongo, in Kumasi, in Amnaga Junction, in Sunyane, to make it in a small way, cheaper, to be able to be accessible to other people. I'm not being selfish. If anybody out there want to come on board for us to scale this in a larger way, honestly, I have friends from Kenya, Tanzania, who are also interested in it, and I do not pride myself to take this to be my own. I'm the one solving the problem now. There might be 15 people out there who will be inspired by this to solve the problem by themselves, or with my help, or with anybody's help. And I think, honestly, there are people there with good hearts and who see a vision, and who, it might not be photography. It might be something else, And little by little, all of us collectively can solve African problem rather than just hoping that somebody will.
Now, back to the books. So, I I know what kind of books. I mean, you mentioned one from as early as 1940s. Now, are these photo books? Are these books that have like photos in them?
Yes. Again, I think in US the broad context of a photo book goes beyond just a book with a picture.
Right.
You know, even with you in the media, there are certain books which are not available for you. You know, so for me, it's like, how do I get those books to you? I have a book right now staring at it on my shelves. We talk about journalism and innovation, which talks about data science and journalism. I have a friend who's from Ghana who is in Colombia right now. He graduated a week ago, who is studying data journalism, and such a person is welcome to a center like that. You know, and why would I be limited to photo books? If you be interested to buy all these things and journalism, entrepreneurship, in journalism, innovative way of telling stories,
Right.
AI, the rest, VR, all that. How do we bring all these? I know friends who are in data science, who are in accounting. How do we bring all these things to merge with photography? If you bring that conversation up, it's broader than what just taking pictures will be.
Right. Now, the reason I'm asking this is that in my mind's eye, I also see it as a place, as a museum of historical images that we can follow through to see maybe like a transition of time. Let's say for Ghana, for instance, I take Ghana for as an example. When we were studying history, I studied history, and sometimes you're being told some of the stories, and well, human beings were very impressionable. We're visual people. I wish I could see pictures of some of these stories because then it would make more sense to me and I could relate. And then maybe in the exam hall, when I'm trying to remember the Asokrochuna something, an image would flash in my mind and I would be able to, write something. But as it stands, most of it are illustrations that you can't really relate to. And the story is just subject to your own your imagination and your mind's picture of what you're studying. So that's what I'm envisioning with this. And honestly, if that was it, I think I probably spend half my time of the day there every single time just to go through Ghana's history because I feel that's one thing that's lacking. Is this something that you also see as a possibility of happening?
I think, my friend, I think that maybe probably you should join us. Maybe probably you should. We should talk, and you join us and bring your insight and information and other things I've not even thought about. Honestly, yeah, what you're saying, I've thought about it. It's expensive, my brother. It's very expensive. Because for years and years, the outpour of the Serpent of African Stories archives, I just don't want to go into it. It's like what happened to independence videos? Who was recording them? Have you thought about them? Like who I see Kwame Nkrumah's speech. Where is it? It's like, how do I access it? I'll tell you one emotional story. One day I went in my school. I was very down that day, and I went to the New York Public Library. I saw a picture of Kwame Nkrumah I've never seen in my life. It pissed me so off, so bad. I was so mad. I was so mad that why is it that it's not in University of Ghana? Why is it that it's not University of Ken University? There might be, but what I'm doing is I'm talking about it now. I'm bringing the conversation up. I'm talking about taking the lead. So let's make it accessible to everyone. So it's expensive, my brother. This journey is not cheap. It's very expensive. I've had conversations with people, with archives and other things. It's expensive. It's my the 1.5, 1.2 cannot even tip the toe, but it can start something.
Yeah.
So I'm happy you brought it up, and I'm happy that I'm sure you're willing to roll your sleeves and join me in this journey.
And that's our tech talk for today. On that note, we're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more.